Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Eve Ajoa.
And welcome to the first and of many video game review videos. I am very excited, not even because this is my first video, but just because I genuinely fell in love with this game. When this game was first announced, a wave of nostalgia washed over me. Growing up as a child, Samurai Jack was a staple in my childhood. From playing like the little mini games on the Cartoon Network website, if you guys remember that, I may be showing my age, to the time me and my dad would watch it when it came on Cartoon Network, which was our bonding time. The little girl in me became thrilled, and the adult in me appreciated playing every ounce of this game. This game has easily became one of my favorite games in 2020, not because of the nostalgia, but because you can tell that they put this effort into this game, which is what we are going to talk about. Now, I won't be really giving any spoilers for this review. This is mainly all just me doing a review over a technical standpoint, so I will be giving a short summary of the story, talking about the gameplay and the mechanics within the game. While continuing from a battle with Aku and relinquishing Ashi from Aku's control, during the fight with Aku, Ashi comes to a realization that she also has Aku's powers as well, and creates a time portal to escape from Aku. While Ashi and Jack were traveling through the time portal, in a last attempt to stop Jack from undoing the evil that is Aku, he sends a power beam straight towards the couple. But Jack, sensing the power beam coming towards them, decides to put himself in front of the beam to protect Ashi, and in turn, he receives the full blast, and it sends him through a rift in time. With the blast sending Jack back to the past, where he was trying to get to, he realized that yes, he is back into the past, but he seems to be re-experiencing certain events that he has already overcome. When I first played the game, I was amazed by the graphics, the smooth controls, and the camera angles, the cartoonish art styles, and the vibrant colors. It reminded me of a PlayStation 2 games just with better graphics. When it comes to the gameplay, one of the main things that caught my attention was the fact that you could use multiple weapons. Even though Samurai Jack is known for his swordsman skills, I assumed that this was just going to be a basic hack and slash game without a variety of different weapons. But Samurai Jack did use multiple weapons in the show, so I did appreciate them staying true to that. There are multiple classes with a total of 6 types of weapons that you can use. They range from sword, spears, which are my favorite, next to the bow and arrow, handguns, machine guns, thrown weapons, hammers, and club. Each class has its own special, which is shown through his Ki attack. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Which is his special attack that he does within the game. Each class of weapon affects each monster differently, which you will find out through the battles within the game. Try this. That ain't it. No.
Here, chap.
Jack, it looks like you're having a tough time with the zombies.
A little.
It does not seem to matter what I do. Your hands and feet are still efficient and deadly weapons, old boy. You are right, of course I will try that. Oh, he's telling me to use these hands. I mean, we can put the sword away. One of the main reasons why I do favor this mechanic in the game, because it does suggest you to be adaptive to whatever you are fighting, which creates a fun dynamic battle, so it's not something that becomes repetitive over time, and it does help you form different combos. While playing the game, you will notice familiar faces throughout each level, such as Sir Rothschild, Sir Rothschild, the Scotsman, and the Scotsman's daughter. Each time that you happen to run into them, they will give you help from items, which I was appreciative because there are times where I needed a certain item, whether it was just help, they came through, and I definitely did appreciate that. Not a lot of voice acting is noticeable from them. When it comes to voice acting, it mainly comes from the bosses Jack and Ashi. The characters that you run into don't really speak that much. They may say like their catchphrase word, but it's not like they have a full-blown dialogue. The world within the game is linear level, which means that there is one way in and one way out. These types of levels are easy to navigate, limit your surroundings so there will not be that much to explore because the main focus will be getting towards the end and focusing on the task at hand. In addition to this, they do have a little camera mode to help assist you through navigating these areas in case you do have trouble navigating, which I did, so I was very appreciative for that and where you are going. Another feature that I absolutely did adore and admire in the game is that anytime Jack takes a certain amount of damage, his clothes become tattered and his hair became undone. Even though this game is not focused heavily on realism, obviously because it is a cartoon game or cartoon based game, I do like the little details that they incorporated from the show, such as this. Now moving on to the currency. The currency within the game is gold, and gold can be used to purchase different ammunition, weapons, and consumables which you can purchase at the Samurai Shop. Now the shop is located through different areas within each level, so his inventory does differ between each level, and he also has a limited supply of items, which I absolutely detest, but you can only carry so much in your inventory, which I understand. But there are some times where I would like to have at least 20 Haggises just in case something happened and I needed it, but it's understandable, but I am still bitter. In addition to this, you can also use gold to restore the durability of your weapons as they do wear down and break over time, which hurt my feelings because as I stated before, the spear is one of my favorite weapons. So when I was using it and it broke, it's gone. You know, obviously if you play video games that have the gaming mechanics where weapons become durable, they have a lifetime span on how much you can use it. They have, I would say, a hit limit. So after you say, let's say you get to, out of 20, you get to 18 hits, it'll give you a little notification to let you know your weapon is about to break. A part of me does wish that they weren't durable, but I do feel like if they wasn't, then I probably would have just used the spear throughout the whole game, to be honest. So even though that was something I didn't like, it's kind of understandable why they incorporated that into the game, because they do want you to use different types of weapons so that way you can adapt, because each monster, as I stated before, each monster is affected differently, and obviously if I'm using a spear on a zombie, it's not going to do that much damage as it would another monster that is affected by it. Furthermore, you can also purchase weapon training in the shop, which will upgrade his skills for that one weapon class. Within the game, Jack has a skill tree that has 3 different types of categories that range from physical, spiritual, and combat. Each category can be upgraded using blue skill fire, green Bushido spirit, diamond ruby, and desert or aphid jewel. Now, to me personally, when it came to upgrading the skill tree, there were really only a handful of moves that I felt would be beneficial to me. Everything else just seemed, obviously because it's going to be an upgraded version of it, to me it just didn't really seem like it would really make that much difference, but I also didn't fully level up my skill tree to test this out. When it comes to leveling up the skill tree, the blue skill fire will be the one thing that you have in abundance versus the other time. You will definitely, it'll be more easily to obtain blue skill fire versus the Bushido spirit and the jewels, because the Bushido spirit doesn't drop as often, and when it comes to the jewels, some can be acquired through your allies, found in chests, and through replaying certain levels within this game. So I won't say you have to grind, but you do have to put in a little bit of grind in order to fully level up your skill tree. And we are coming up to the little last bit of this review. Another thing is, I am somebody who likes a challenge. Now, when I say I like a challenge, I am not talking about Dark Souls challenge, because that game is a rager. And I like to play my game with a bit of a challenge, but not to the point where I want to throw my controller at a monitor. But no matter the difficulty, the boss battles are challenging, regardless if it's on Jack or Samurai Jack, which I did enjoy. Now, I started off playing the game on Samurai Jack, but I did have to lower the difficulty when it came to fighting Lazarus 52, which really to me was the only con I had with this game. I didn't like the boss battle with Lazarus 52, mainly because of the environment that you are fighting him in. When you fight Lazarus 52, you first fight him you fight him, I believe, 2 times, and you fight him in a cramped room, which is it's really hard because he's spewing multiple worms during the battle and it becomes crowded within the room. And because you don't have that much space, it is very easily to die, and this boss battle was definitely a struggle. Now when it came to fighting him a second time, this is when my game became laggy and it crashed, and it didn't matter how many times I fought him or different methods that I did lower the difficulty to Jack, just so I would be able to finish the game, because it was becoming laggy. I'm not sure if it's because there were too many items within the room and the game wasn't meant to handle that and it became glitchy. I wasn't sure, but I was tired of it crashing, so I lowered the difficulty so I was able to continue on beating the game. I didn't realize that Lazarus 52 was next to the last battle, I would say, with fighting Aku. But even fighting on Ku on Jack was still a challenge, and that is something that I did enjoy, because even though I did lower the difficulty to something more easier, I was still able to have a bit of challenges. Even though he was a final boss, he should be challenging, but when certain games you put it on easy, you can literally just breeze through the game. So I did appreciate them having that balance when it came between the difficulties. When it comes to selecting your difficulties on the game. After you beat the game, you do get access to these missions, which is basically a set of wave of enemies that you can battle. It's another way to easily grind your way up and to not only earn more gold, but to gain more jewels such as the Neptunes, and also try out different combos.
And before we end this review, I just want to say rest in peace to Mako Iwamatsu, who is the original voice actor for Aku and Uncle Ara. I did not know this until it was brought to my attention by one of my viewers, and I also found out that towards the end of Samurai Jack that the voice actor for Aku got switched out for Greg Baldwin. So that was just a nice little fun fact. And once again, rest in peace to Mako Iwamatsu, because Samurai Jack was definitely a pivotal point in my childhood.
Now that we are coming to the end of this review, we're gonna give the final jurisdiction on this game, and I would definitely rate it a 9.5 out of 10 on the scale. The 5 points is because of the boss battle with Lazarus 52. Ever since I played this game, I haven't seen an update for it, and it probably could have just been with my game that I experienced a lag and a crash, but I don't know if it was a common thing that other people had, but I didn't like that. That was really the only thing that to me I would consider a con with the game. I do love the fact that the story is open for newcomers. So even if you didn't watch the first, second, third, or fourth, or even the 5th season, you will be able to grasp the story easily. I love the fact that you do revisit some of the recognizable levels from the first season and from the couple other seasons after the first season, and that there are noticeable faces within the game. I do wish they had a little bit of more voice acting, but the game was still enjoyable for what it was. I love the fact, well, I absolutely did. I love the fact that he just wasn't using his sword throughout the game. This game to me wasn't a basic hack and slash game, which is what I assumed it was going to be, but I do love the fact that you could use a variety of different weapons. It is one of my top games from 2020, and it is definitely a game I will revisit in the near future.
And since this was my first review, I would love for you guys to leave comments about what you like, what you didn't like, what are some things that I could change or I can do to improve on making reviews, because this is my first review. But I would definitely love to hear everybody's feedback so that way I can provide better content for you guys. All clips that were included in this review was recorded from my live stream on Twitch. I do stream on Twitch. It is the same as my YouTube name, Eve Adjoa. Also on all my social media, such as my Twitter. My Instagram is I am Eve Adjoa. And once again, all of you guys, thank you so much. I know that this was a long one coming, but I definitely will be doing more video game reviews, and you guys all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.